You are, and whenever you're watching this. Thanks for coming on live. If you're watching this live, if you're coming on the replay, I really appreciate your support and being here. Interesting topic today. We're going to talk about blood pressure and stress hormones, and of course, stress hormones, but all hormones really. Had a conversation yesterday, and it got me thinking about a couple of things. First, blood pressure. So your blood pressure changes throughout your day, depending on what's going on. You can probably tell when you're getting a little heated, when something has happened, you got a caller ID, you see something happening, and you kind of feel a change in your body. Some people feel it really overtly. You'll feel the chest tightening here. You'll feel your heart rate going up. You'll feel different. Maybe your face will turn red, or you feel even faint. There's a change in your blood pressure. When you go into fight or flight, your blood pressure changes quite drastically. And if you're nervous for any reason, even just the slightest bit of worry or nervousness, that will have an effect on the release of the stress hormones and your blood pressure as well. Same thing with your hormones. So there's two things that physicians often test, and health practitioners. They'll test your blood pressure and your hormones. But when they do that test, that's for that moment in time. It's just like the stock market. If you waited 5 minutes, you'd probably get a very different reading. If you waited 3 hours, you'd probably get a significantly different reading. Because most people, when they go into any sort of testing situation, be it an academic test or a health test, usually trigger fight or flight. You're just a little keyed up. Maybe you're excited. Maybe you're worried if you're going to the physician and having some testing done. It's sometimes people even trigger going to see their therapist. I was working with a client, and I actually talked with this person on the phone all the way on their drive to go see their therapist because they were worried about what was going to happen in the session. So definitely their hormones were screaming, and they were definitely, their blood pressure was up. So just like the stock market, it's any point in time. Does that make sense? Like, you could be, if we tested your blood pressure right now and you're just having an easy morning, it'd probably be in a really great space. But maybe you get to work and it only takes like one phone call or one situation that you're having to deal with, and suddenly your blood pressure is jacked up. So sometimes people are put on medications that they probably don't even really need, but they're being used for those moments when you've triggered fight or flight. Again, it all comes back to whether or not you've released those hormones. That is the key to a healthy life. That is the key to keeping your blood pressure in a really great place, and also your hormones in a really great place, because the stress hormones affect all the other hormones in the body. The stress hormones affect every body process. They affect your pituitary, your thyroid, everything. So it's like all of this, your heart, your lungs, your reproductive organs, your brain, and how your brain thinks. When you're under the influence of stress hormones, it's not working very well. And that's truly important, because on my trip recently, I watched so many people in situations that got very upset. In the airport, at the car rental, there were all these young people working at this car rental place. And I saw pretty much every one of them get yelled at by someone. And I could see every one of those young people going into fight or flight. When we returned our car, this is when we were picking up our car. When we returned our car, the young man who was assisting us he was so sweet. I think he was from Argentina. He had a little hat with a, it had a string, like it was on his back, so we could put it up if it was hot. And so we had a beautiful conversation with him. And I said, I noticed that this is not an easy job. And he just shook his head and he goes, it's not an easy job. And I just told him that you've got somebody in your court and you have someone praying for you, because it was just incredible how belligerent people were being. Um, and of course, you want, when you've traveled, most people trigger the stress response when they travel. So by the time they get to the car rental place, they're under the line big time. They're already so on stress hormones, they don't even see their behavior. I wish I had, if I could have videotaped the behavior of some of these people and then showed it back to them, and the words that they were using, just really, really incredible. The ones in Spanish, some of them I couldn't understand, but I could tell they were not nice. They were not nice. And there was an Italian couple there too, and he just reamed out this kid. I mean, it was just incredible. So it's all around us right now. It's all around us. People elevated in their language, in their behavior, and how they're treating each other, because of situations, because of what's going on, or just because people are not in control. They're not mature, to be honest. Becoming mature should mean we should have some more regulation than we do. I don't usually use the word should, but I'm going to use it here. And I'm the first to raise my hand. That might have been me 10 years ago or 12 years ago, me being upset because the rental car wasn't ready and we had to wait. But now with Pressure Free, it's like totally fine. Who knows who you might meet while you're waiting? You might have a great conversation with somebody. You might be able to do some work on your phone or on your computer, or, you'll figure it out. Why are we in such a hurry? That's what I wanted to say. Why are you in such a hurry? One fellow, there were three fellows coming down from Michigan to Florida, and they were speaking Arabic, and I'm not sure what country they were from. They looked actually like they were from a couple of different countries, but they were buddies, and they just screamed at this girl, "We have places to go," like that, like everybody in this room has places to go. So hormones, blood pressure, in the end, you're responsible. In the end, it's you who's going to learn how to take care of yourself so you don't have elevated blood pressure or elevated stress hormone release, elevated hormones in general. If someone, by the way, you hear this more toward women than men, but men have a lot of hormones coursing through their body too, and a lot of fight or flight ones. But what you'll hear is, "Oh, she's so hormonal." Have you ever had somebody say that to you, or you've said it to someone, or you've thought it about someone? Probably thought about it about your teenage daughter, if you have a teenage daughter. So these hormones, all the different floods of hormones, are massively affected by fight or flight. And getting a handle on it can truly change your life. It can change your behavior. It can change the words you use. It can change how you interact with people and the kind of relationships you can have. So I hope this is helpful. If you need help with blood pressure, if you need help with your hormones, if your adrenals are fried, please reach out, because we can help you here at Pressure Free. We can turn that around for you so your body's processes are working normally and with great health. Then everything else can change for you. So wish you a great pressure-free day.